Hey guys, it's Ashley. Welcome back to Ashley Books. Today I'm here to do a Top 5 Wednesday. Top 5 Wednesday was created by Lainey over at gingerreadslainey and is now moderated by Sam at Thoughts on Tomes. Today's topic is going to be books that you think people should go into kind of blind or without reading the synopsis or too much about it, because a lot of times reading the synopsis you can kind of get little pieces of the book or kind of spoilery things that you may not want to know from certain books. So today I picked my top 5 that I think you should go into kind of blind. The first one I picked was Paper Princess by Erin Watt. This one, it's not that you can't read about it, but I feel like maybe it was just a lot of the talk that I heard on like Instagram and stuff, but I feel like this book, it's a romance, so I mean it's not so much gonna ruin the plot, but there's little twists and turns throughout the series and more like the backstory on the characters and things that I just feel like were kind of spoiled a little bit for me. And I think if you went into this series with like a bit of an open mind and kind of not kind of going too far into what exactly is the characters and the decisions that they make, I think this book would be a lot better. Just it would make more sense and it kind of would keep you from reacting to things that you might hear from other people. So, Paper Princess. Book number 2 is a book I just finished a couple of days ago and I loved it, so you'll hear more about it in my wrap-up, but it's How to Hang a Witch by Adriana Mather. I love this book and I obviously don't want to say a lot because that's the whole point of this video, but this one was just really good. It was really creepy and I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like with creepy books or anything that has kind of that paranormal element to it, you don't want to know too much because some of the, and it's kind of a mystery mixed in there too. Any kind of mystery or like suspense, you just don't want to know too much about it because it kind of ruins the effect. So I highly recommend this book, but I recommend kind of just jumping in, and I knew nothing about this book when I read it other than the fact that I liked the cover and it seems kind of eerie and it's about witches. So give this one a try, but I wouldn't read much about it. The next one is one I've talked about before. It is Vein of Love, which is the first one in the, oh gosh, what is this series called? Oh, Black is Gold series by R. Scarlett. This one is another like paranormal type of book. And I just think that it's better to go in kind of not knowing about all the little nuances and all the details as far as like what kind of paranormal, like what kind of creatures or things like that. I think it's good to go in kind of blind and just let it take you for a ride. The beginning of this book, I will say, is a little bit slow. So, you know, I think it's very tempting when a book is slow to kind of like try and find like spoilery bits on like Goodreads or Amazon or something because you want to make sure you like the book. I recommend pushing through and trying to not look at spoilers because I think if you can get through the first little bit of it, or at least it'll really pick up, and I think it's better to go in not knowing much. So the next one is kind of hard to not know anything about, but that is Shatter Me, or the Shatter Me trilogy by Tahereh Mafi. I read this book before it became like super popular, and so I didn't know much about it going in, and I think that was better. I think sometimes, so this one I kind of picked because I think books that have a lot of hype and you hear a lot about, not only can it spoil things, but it also kind of builds up this image in your mind that it's never gonna beat to me. So I like this one. I know you can't really get rid of things you already know, but if you don't know much about this, don't seek out more information. I think it was just really interesting to find out about Juliet little by little, and I think this book did a really good job of like building her character arc slowly and kind of giving you tidbits as you went about her and the other characters. So if you don't know about this book, go in blind, but you probably at least know a little bit about it. And the last series that I think you should go in without knowing too much about it is the Natural series. This is the second one, Killer Instinct, because I still don't own the first one. I need to buy it. But this series, I think it's a mystery at its core. It's, you know, very suspenseful, and I think if you know too much about it, it's just gonna ruin it for you. This was another one that I went in knowing hardly anything about this series other than I'd heard it compared to Criminal Minds. And I really tried not to find any spoilers or anything like that, because I really wanted to be on the ride that this book takes you on. And I really think this series, the 4 books in it, just really do take you on a ride, and they give you so much to consider, and you're trying to figure it out the whole time. And so definitely need to go into this one blind. Try not to read too much about it, but I would say definitely pick the series up if you're interested in that kind of book. Okay guys, so those are all the books that I think you should go into blind or not knowing much about them. Let me know if you guys have read any of those books, or if you haven't, let me know if you'd be interested in them. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.